Massive Grizzlies update. This changes everything, as Jaren Jackson Jr. might have just hit a ginormous bump in his potential future Supermax deal. Could this also impact another top Grizzlies free agent, and what would this mean for any potential blockbuster trade coming this summer? A lot of questions to answer, a lot to get to. What's going on, everybody? Jared Alator for Grizzlies Digest, bringing you the latest news, rumors, trades, everything Grizzlies related. But there's a little bit of a concern before we get into the content. Realize that 89% of you, you're watching these videos, but you're just not subscribed to the channel. You're liking these videos, commenting on these videos. A lot of fan engagement we've been getting over the past week. We want to continue doing these videos to keep you up to date on what could be a crazy Grizzlies offseason. Smash that subscribe button. It's easy. It's free. It's right down below. Right down there. You can hit that subscribe button so you never miss another upload from us. And getting into the content, we don't want to waste any more time here because Jiren Jackson Jr., congratulations to him. He's been named to the NBA All-Defensive Second Team. Now, this is obviously an individual accomplishment for him. But for him and the Grizzlies and for some Grizzlies fans, this is a little bit concerning because Jaren Jackson Jr. wants to be eligible for that Supermax contract. He wants to get paid. Of course, we all want to get paid. But this impacts him in a very negative way. And it impacts the team in a negative way. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s Supermax aspirations take a hit after the all-defensive team nod he just got. That's from Paris Sharkey of the Grizzlies fan-sided page. Making an all-NBA team just became more difficult for him. So let's get into that. So Sharkey gets into how the last player or players that made an all-NBA team that came from a NBA All-Defensive Second Team was back in the 2020-21 regular season. And that was Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid. While it felt more common during that time frame, a 3-year gap of that happening does not bode well for Jaren Jackson Jr. And it says Jackson Jr. entered this season with 2 years remaining on his team-friendly deal with an average declining salary of $26.1 million of his rookie contract extension. Due to the NBA CBA, that's their collective bargaining agreement, Jaren would become eligible to sign a 5-year, $345 million Supermax extension if he makes an All-NBA team. And of course, we just said the odds are very much against him right now because the last two guys, Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid, they last made the NBA All-Defensive Second Team in 2021, and as well as the All-NBA team. But that's the last time that those two coincided with each other. Winning MVP or Defensive Player of the Year would have qualified him too, but that did not happen. And making an All-NBA team was always the likeliest scenario after leading the Grizzlies in scoring, steals, and blocks during the team's first 59 games. A 5-game absence due to an ankle injury set him back, along with the team's 12-16 record post-All-Star break. So obviously a lot of concern here. Concern about what Jackson would do if he's not eligible for that Supermax. Would he still stay? Would he go somewhere else? You know, obviously it's a very complicated right now. You know, congratulations to Jaren. I'm sure he's probably thinking the same thing we are right now. Right? He wants to get paid. We want him to get paid. We want him to stay here in Memphis, but it's just gotten a lot more complicated from that All-Defensive Second Team award. So, that's what's going on there. And this is from Grant Mona from the Grizzlies SI page a couple days back. He says, NBA star Jaren Jackson Jr.'s predicted new contract with the Grizzlies. So, this is obviously if he doesn't, get the Supermax, like what would the numbers look like? What would it look like for guys like Santi Aldama, Brandon Clark? Do they stay? And then it just becomes a question of, do the Grizzlies even want to make a generational move after this season? Do they stick with their core guys like Morant, Bane, Jackson, Brandon Clark? Right? Do they even stick with those guys? Or do they move in another direction? So after an early exit in the conference quarterfinals to Oklahoma City in 4 games, Memphis could shift to a blockbuster trade or keep their own and move forward with their core. Of course, there are already rumors of Giannis being traded to Memphis. And the Grizzlies do have assets, but a new report from the Athletics, Danny LaRue, says otherwise. And they embed the Athletic article from Danny LaRue just because it's a subscription-only article. So LaRue says Memphis is arguably the most interesting team in the league this summer. The Grizzlies' deadline deals conspicuously left them with a small amount of cap space, which the front office could use to renegotiate and extend Jaren Jackson Jr. So now we're talking about renegotiate, extend, and what would that look like? Jaren Jackson Jr. is such a valuable player to this team, obviously, and he's grown so much on the offensive side, but his first 3 years in the NBA, we noticed very, very quickly how gifted he is on the defensive end. And, if he is going to be part of a package for some generational trade, he himself might want to take a look at the numbers. He himself might be interested to be shipped off to somewhere else if he's not eligible for this Supermax contract, and then it might make him more curious as to, hey, where else can I go? Where can I get paid, actually? So this is definitely a bit of a step in the wrong direction, a bit of a step south, if you will, but still possible. For Memphis, anything is possible. Zach Kleiman, he wants the best team. He wants to move up. Maybe he thinks, hey, we're just one Kevin Durant away, one Giannis Antetokounmpo away. And, of course, with Giannis, he's got Nashville SC. He doesn't want any state income tax. He loves Ja Morant. He wants to be on a small market team. He's embraced that with Milwaukee for the first 12 years of his career. So this really changes a lot. It gets a bit complicated, and it adds a lot of questions as to what could come in the near future. But that's going to do it for us today. Leave a comment down below your thoughts on Jackson Jr.'s recognition for NBA All-Defensive Second Team. Do you think it impacts that Supermax and his efforts to stay in Memphis? Does it affect his motivation to stay in Memphis this offseason? How exactly did that just change the trajectory of Memphis' offseason? Because I think this is honestly, it's an underrated story, but I think it's a pretty big story, and that we'll keep up with for days and possibly weeks to come. But that's going to do it for us. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video for any more updates from us. We're going to get those updates for you guys. It's going to be a very busy offseason. Jiren for Grizzlies Digest saying thank you so much, and of course, peace.